And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason. You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to fight the best.
Floyd Mayweather has issued a sharp warning to Terence Crawford after heated debates about who would win between them. Floyd made it clear that this warning was less about fear and more about chasing the impossible. He said Crawford might be chasing a ghost because the Mayweather who ruled boxing retired on his own terms, with his legacy sealed, and he's not about to let anyone rewrite that story.
Me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Mayweather told Stephen A. Smith that boxing isn't just about who's stronger today, it's about who owned the stage when it mattered most. And in Floyd's view, Crawford entering his mid-30s is simply too late to ask for a fight that should have been made years ago, when it would have brought in the biggest numbers.
Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
That message came during a fiery debate on Stephen A. Smith's show, where Floyd sat across from Crawford in a rare head-to-head exchange that immediately caught the boxing world's attention. Mayweather stayed calm, but his words carried weight. He essentially told Crawford, "You can win all you want. You can even beat the guys I never fought, but you're still not rewriting my history." With that, Floyd kept the spotlight firmly on his own era, while reminding Crawford he showed up too late for the chance to share the ring.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter lose, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum. I knew he was overrated. Oh, y'all hyped him up, and now they got to hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in their face.
But this isn't just two fighters talking past each other. It's about how fans, fighters, and analysts are dividing sides in the conversation. Even current star Ryan Garcia has joined the debate, adding his own shots at Mayweather. Garcia, never shy about speaking his mind, had sharp words for Floyd during a segment on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring. When former NFL running back LaShawn McCoy praised Floyd as the biggest game changer in boxing, Garcia interrupted, in a bad way. Garcia argued that Mayweather didn't just master boxing in the ring. He mastered the business of timing, fighting opponents when it best suited him. He pointed out Floyd waited until Manny Pacquiao and Miguel Cotto were past their peak and said Mayweather never fought anyone truly in their prime after junior lightweight. For Garcia, Floyd's perfection was built more on perfect matchmaking than perfect fighting, and that's when, in his view, boxing lost its way. Fighters began protecting the zero instead of chasing the toughest fights.
Like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather, y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to...
That's where Max Kellerman entered the discussion with his own perspective. Known as one of boxing's sharpest analysts, Kellerman explained why Crawford might have a stronger case for legacy depending on how you judge it. Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight, he said. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember he didn't want certain fights at certain times. Crawford, on the other hand, even if his resume isn't as deep, he wanted everyone, every time. That means something.
Versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him. And Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same.
And that's the core of the debate, resume versus intent. Mayweather's record is loaded with legends. Oscar de la Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto, Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Arturo Gatti, Diego Corrales, and more. But critics like Garcia and Kellerman argue timing lessens the shine. Pacquiao was older and slowed by 2015. Mosley was 38 and inactive. Cotto had endured heavy punishment. And Canelo Alvarez was drained to a catchweight at just 23. Yes, Floyd won all those fights, but to some critics, the asterisk never goes away.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
On the other hand, Crawford's resume isn't as deep, but the spirit behind it is different. He didn't care about timing. He faced Sean Porter when Porter was still a tough fight for anyone. He dismantled Errol Spence Jr. at 35 and stunned the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. Crawford's issue wasn't avoiding fights, it was promoters and networks avoiding him. As a high-risk, low-reward fighter under top rank, Crawford spent years chasing marquee opponents that never materialized. By the time he broke through against Spence, he was already well into his 30s.
You know, we knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed?
Now at 38 years old, Crawford stands undefeated at 42-0, with undisputed titles in 3 weight classes and a resume that includes Yuriorkis Gamboa, Victor Postel, Jeff Horn, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, and Alvarez. But compared to Mayweather's 50-0, the numbers lean toward Floyd. 8 fewer wins may not seem like much, but in the legacy race, every number counts. Still, Crawford holds one card Floyd never did, the chance at a 6th division title. If he drops to middleweight and wins a belt, he'll achieve something Mayweather never attempted. Floyd stopped at 154. Crawford's willingness to keep daring for greater challenges could be the one factor that shifts the legacy debate.
Floyd had a lot of craft that mimicked some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
Their eras also add an interesting wrinkle. Crawford won his first world title in 2014, just 1 year before Floyd closed out his career by beating Pacquiao and Andre Berto. The overlap was there, but slim. If Floyd had stuck around, the fight could have happened. But by then, Mayweather was protecting his legacy, not expanding it. And that's what he really meant on Stephen A. Smith's show. Don't ask me now. If it was going to happen, it would have been when the money and demand were at their peak. That time has passed. Crawford's wins today don't pull Floyd back into the ring.
Funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah,
there's an OG somewhere.
Somebody got a pioneer, right?
Yeah,
you gotta.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Still, that hasn't stopped fans from imagining the matchup. Mayweather at 147 was a defensive genius, nearly unhittable, breaking opponents down round by round. He went 12-0 at welterweight between ages 28 and 38, owning the division for a decade. Crawford at 147 was more explosive, a switch hitter with knockout power and a mean streak. He went 8-0 in 5 years, finishing most opponents brutally. He's taller, longer, and more versatile in stance and style.
Were you surprised that, Crawford wasn't running from him? He was very confident that he could stand there and trade, a lot of times with Canelo.
Crawford fought a brilliant fight. He fought a brilliant fight. He stayed at the right range. He didn't engage with Canelo when Canelo was trying to get him to engage with him. And he took control of the fight. And he did what he wanted to do.
In a mythical head-to-head, Crawford's size and aggression would have tested Mayweather's defense in ways few opponents ever did. Some fans compare it to Paul Williams, another tall, high-volume welterweight who was seen as a nightmare matchup for Floyd. Add Crawford's adaptability and southpaw power, and you can see why many believe Floyd might have finally been forced to sweat to keep his 0.
Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE.
But Mayweather's supporters argue his style was tailor-made to nullify aggression. He wasn't just fast and slick, and he was economical. He didn't need 70 punches around. He needed the right 25 and to make you miss 50. Against Crawford, who thrives on switching momentum mid-fight, Floyd may have frustrated him the same way he shut down Canelo in 2013 or smothered Ricky Hatton in 2007. There's also the question of stage control. Floyd wasn't just a fighter, he was boxing's pay-per-view king, freezing entire weekends with his fights. Crawford, despite his greatness, never reached that level, even after Spence and Alvarez. Mayweather's dominance extended beyond skill. It was his control over when, where, and how fights happened. But in the end, the mythical question remains. If Mayweather and Crawford fought, who wins? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more boxing updates.